Hey guys, welcome back. Now today I gotta do something a little bit different. I know I say that all the time, but today's something I've never done anything like this before. It's kind of like a product review, and honestly it's not even fish related or plant related or reptile related or anything. So to give you a bit more about that, I guess I'm gonna have to tell you guys a bit of a story. So stay tuned. So when I decided to enter into this venture of doing this YouTube thing, having a hell of a lot of fun with you guys. I'm enjoying doing this every week. Now we've got the idea of going live every once in a while. That's really, really cool, and I'm having a lot of fun with that too. Now, there's been one thing that's been really, really lacking for me in my ability to do certain things. Now, when I first started into this, I've slowly started getting different types of equipment and stuff like that. Now, what I film, everything right now that you guys see right now is almost all filmed using video, is filmed with my iPhone 8. Now there's a story behind why I'm using that one, and I'll get that into a minute. This is my warhorse. This is my old Nikon. It's many, many years old. It's been all over the world with me. It's got my big battery grip. It's got extra batteries with it. I got all sorts of flashes. I've got my big giant, I have a 105 macro lens, I have a 65 macro lens, and then this is my 200 millimeter, can't remember what this is, 18 to 200 millimeter. That was my big fancy expensive lens, and honestly that's the lens that literally sits on the camera 99.9% of the time. Now when I want to do some pictures and stuff like that, the macros are really, really good. I've always used to use an old school camera, an old school SLR. Used to do back in the day using slide film, so you guys get an idea how old I am. And I used to do that all the time using about a 55 macro. Away from that. Now the Nikon D90, it's an old one. I could probably just get a new body and still use all my lenses and everything like that. It was one of the first SLRs, digital SLRs, to come out with video capabilities. The problem being is the video capabilities with it are pretty limited, and you have to constantly be manually focusing. That's not going to work for me for when I'm on the go and I'm just spontaneously looking for stuff or flopping together stuff in the fish room and stuff and whatnot. So that wasn't really going to work it for me. I still take it with me usually when I travel, but the problem being is a lot of these phones nowadays, as they get more and more modern and stuff like that, the technology in these phones is better than most of these basic SLRs will ever be anyways. So the one thing that's been lacking, this is what I was getting to, is I got all this, we've bought some different fancy lighting. I'm not using it right now because it's still relatively sunny outside right now and it's bright enough in the fish room. The one thing that's really, really been lacking, and I find it very, very frustrating, is I don't have any ability using the phone to do good quality close-up work. When a fry or something, little observational type stuff, observational behaviors or squabbles between two smaller diminutive species within a tank, I don't have any abilities to do that. And that's the one thing that's been lacking for me. And honestly, since prior to even Black Friday, when was that? Your Black Friday, I think it was in November or October, I don't really know. It falls around Thanksgiving for you guys. But we always have those, and then there's this Cyber Mondays and all that stuff. I actually have been looking hard at different types of cameras, but I could never really pull the trigger on getting a new camera. Because the reason I have this, and the reason I do everything with my iPhone 8 is, when me and my wife were up for renewal on our contracts, she got the iPhone 8 normal one. Well, my hands are far too big to use that one. I like the nice bigger phone. I came from using Samsung Notes and those type of phones, and Samsung Galaxies and all those sort of things. They were a much bigger phone for me, and for me to ever do texting between her or my customers or kids and stuff like that, it was just horrible. So I needed a bigger phone. Because I've been with the company that I buy the phone from for so long, they told me, says, well, we've only got the 8, but it's the one with the absolute insane amount of memory. I can't even remember what it is, but I know that phone that I'm videotaping this with right now has more memory than my home computer, more memory than my laptop. It's an insane amount of memory on it, stuff like that. So the nice thing about it is I can literally slip my phone in my pocket. It's going to be with me anywhere I go. And not only that, but I can also have insane amount of memory. So I have no concerns about shooting an absolute ton of footage when I go somewhere. And I don't have to worry about quickly getting to a laptop, downloading it so I can go and film later again that day. This thing's got more than enough to handle it. So in that regard, it's really, really cool. So then I started looking at the idea, if I'm not ready to actually upgrade the entire camera aspect right now, let's look at if there's something that we could try. And I know you guys have seen a lot of them online, maybe in your Facebook feed, maybe it's because you're looking at stuff online like I am too, and these things just kind of pop up. But I started looking at the idea of these clip-on lenses. And to me, I'm not a hardcore camera guy, I don't know a lot of the different lingo and stuff, but I have had really good quality cameras around me most of my life, and none of it all this clip-on stuff just sounds like absolute garbage to me. The only thing you're going to get good when you're talking about camera lenses is the glass that's in the actual lenses themselves. I don't care what metal it's made out of or anything like that. If it feels good, you read the reviews of some of these things, it feels real good. That means absolutely nothing. But I started reading a lot of these reviews on these different clip-in lenses, and I know you can buy them really, really cheap, and some are, I'm sure they're mostly mediocre to junk. But there's one particular one that rang out that has thousands and thousands of views. It's got a rating on Amazon.ca, which is the Canadian version. It's got like 2,800 reviews, and it's running like 4.6 or 4.8 as the result. And I was like, that's outstanding compared to like the amount of them that are in the field. This one particular one rises above all of them. And it wasn't overly expensive. But I did actually pull the trigger, and I ordered this little guy. And this little guy is the Xenvo Pro lens kit. It's a pretty slick little unit. Now, I haven't done anything. I literally just cut the tape on it because I wanted to do everything live with you guys. But this is the Xenvo Pro lens kit. It's got a glow clip LED light. It's got two different types of lenses included in the one lens, so they go together. So there's a wide angle lens that's a 0.45, and there's a macro lens which is 15 times. And I've seen some of the results of this, and this one came up time and time again when people were talking about what are you using to take video, such good pictures of your isopods, which are diminutive little things that you guys have seen. So I thought if I can do isopods, well then I can do fry, I can do all that sort of stuff. So I started looking at this thing. When you open it up, the first thing you get is you get this nice little seal gel unit that says important. Watched video inside before using your Xenvo product. It's got a little attached USB stick here, so we're going to have to throw that in the laptop. Great presentation overall. You get this nice little tiny carrying kit with a carabiner on it, so you can actually attach it to your backpack or travel. And with me, the amount of gear that I often travel with, it's a really, really nice saving grace to see that sort of stuff. So here's the actual clip itself. It's actually a really strong clip. And it's got siliconed feet on both sides, so once it's in position on the phone, it's not going to move. So we'll see how that installs on the actual lens itself. It's got a cleaning cloth. Nice feature. It's got a little lanyard if you want to kind of throw it around your neck while you're out in the field doing work. You want to take it on and off. It's all there for you. It's quick and easy. It's also got this beautiful little LED light. It's in it itself has also got in all sorts of tons of reviews. And you can clip this onto the phone as well. It's got different settings. So full bright, medium bright, low bright. Just, offer a fair bit of light. It's a pretty intense little light for what we're going to need it to do. That might work really, really well. And the really cool thing about it is it's fully chargeable, and they supplied the charging cable for this little unit, which is really, really cool. So I'm pretty stoked to be trying that out. But the meat and the pudding of itself, the thing that we're all waiting to see, is this little tiny unit right here. As you can see, it's not that big. It's got a nice low lens cap on it. Same sort of type of lens cap as you'd have on a good quality camera. So there's your wide angle. It unscrews on the back, and on the back, that would then in turn attach to here. Not really certain how it goes on, but it goes on one way or another. Of course, being me, I didn't read any of the instructions as it clearly stated to do so. So we're not going to try and force that on there. Biggs is actually going to watch that little video. And then if you unscrew the two of them, this is your macro lens by itself. This is the macro lens, and this is the wide angle. When you put it together, you can use the macro lens and wide angle together in the same thing. Nice little presentation box. It's got a little instructions panel with it as well. Nice little thing all kept together. So I think the next step is we're going to read about this thing here, find out what we got, and then we're going to learn some more about it before we're going to use it. Then we're going to give you guys some ideas of maybe take some short video and pictures in here and see how it works, and see if we give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Alright, so we took the USB stick that came with it out. Let's see which way it goes in here. Goes in like so. Let's see what comes up. Look at this, all fancy. It's going to open up their own website. Probably unload all sorts of spyware. Look at that fancy. Okay, got it all set up on the lanyard for safety. Quick and easy to use. I figured it out how it was just by watching the little video. Is it just screws on. So it's nice that it's not just pressured on, it actually screws onto the thing. So you can take the cap off, you can use it as a wide angle. For my purposes, more often I'll be using it more as a macro. I got the macro on its own. And it's got crosshairs inside there. I don't know if you can see them, but it's got crosshairs inside. And that's what you use for setting it up on the phone. And that's what we're going to do next and see what we can shoot. Alright guys, I just played around just literally 5 minutes in the fish room looking at the isopods and some of the fish and stuff. It's going to take a bit of work getting used to it and stuff like that because everything happens at a much faster, it looks everything like everything's sped up when you're filming under micro. But let's get right up close to it. I'm going to just show you guys some quick little 10-second clips of some of the stuff that I just did, like without any training whatsoever. It's really, really cool. Biggs is super stoked about this. This in Canada was $59 on Amazon.ca, Amazon.com. I think it's $40. Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, that's how our currency is, how strong it is. But regardless, for $60, this thing is wicked cool. I absolutely love it. I didn't even bother trying the wide angle lens because I don't really see the use in my purposes unless I'm traveling and using a wide angle lens for, like, you know, scenery and stuff, so I'll always have it with me. But from the macro standpoint, it is exactly what I wanted it to be, and I'm absolutely over the moon with it. I'm going to play around with it some more, and hopefully this will be a new tool in our fish room that we'll be able to use all the time. Thanks, guys.